when I talk to folks like on their porches or out in their neighborhoods, they often kind of look around the block and they can point out things like, oh,
Hmm.
that used to be a grocery store, that used to be,
Yeah.
an amenity, that used to be another business that they feel the loss of, like that those pockets are there and there's communities.
Hmm.
How do we bring some of that back? I know you have a lot of proposals around small business development and
Yeah.
building up commercial corridors. It's a big part of like neighborhood vitality. So
Hmm.
what are we doing there?
Yeah, so one, we're going to continue to focus on stabilizing our neighborhoods. That is focusing in on blight elimination efforts, sidewalk repair, alley cleaning, just basic quality of life issues, taking vacant land, turning it into housing, and increasing access to home repair grants. Secondly, you did mention our commercial corridor plan. We are going to activate a commercial corridor in every district using tools that are underutilized right now, like the Business Improvement Zone, the Commercial Corridor Improvement Authority, and allowing small businesses, Detroit-based businesses, to have access to develop those particular uses within our communities. And then thirdly, we are going to focus on bringing more wraparound resources and services and access to city government back into our neighborhoods, partnering with our faith-based institutions and also our legacy nonprofits as well. And so I think it's a combination of efforts, but we believe what is most important is if we start with our commercial corridors, which we can reactivate, turning into retail and coffee shops, grocery stores, and heavily incentivize and market those areas. Starting there will spur economic opportunities around and into our neighborhoods as well.
And is that connected much? I mean, you want to put like neighborhood resource
Yep,
hubs.
opportunity hub.
Yeah, opportunity hubs. Let's
Yep,
remember the
yep,
terminology. Basically, so instead of somebody having to come downtown to KMAC,
yep,
they can go down the street and
yep.
get some of the
Yep,
same.
and we will, model it based on the needs, thorough research, an assessment study on that district. What are the greatest needs? The income levels. What are the major departments that are being called more frequently in that area? And we will, really create a opportunity hub for the need of that community. I've seen two of them right now in Detroit. One is in my district, the Durfee Innovation Center. It is a huge opportunity hub where you can walk in and get information and access to a plethora of services. And it's been very successful on that side of my district. And so moving more resources back into the community, I think is very, very important.
So let's assume you win for a second, not
Hmm.
playing favorites,
No, no,
obviously,
no.
but
I understand.
when Duggan was elected, his transition team had a little over $250,000 in city funding to kind of get that started. It's a different time, too, because I think there was some restructuring going on with the
Yeah.
bankruptcy. And there was a whole team that he brought in to help with the transition. I want to know, what is your plan looking like for your transition? I don't know if you're that far ahead yet, but
Yeah, I will say, I'm definitely thinking about it. And I think if I was not thinking about it, I would not be responsible because you have a very short time from November 4th to the end of the year to get yourself ready. And so I definitely have been looking at national consultants that can come in and assist who've done transitions around the country. We definitely want the best and the brightest here around me and our team. And we're going to utilize whatever is in the existing budget that may be set aside for a transition to ensure that we are hiring the appropriate people to ensure that this next administration is successful. So we're definitely looking at best practices and other models. What we've learned so far is that typically what happens is you have your transition team, you have certain areas of topics of concern, whether it's housing, public safety, economic development, infrastructure. And within the next 30 days, these leading experts will create a 100-day plan, 1-year plan, and a 4-year plan and priorities for the next administration to focus on. And that is kind of a guidebook for the next mayor coming in. So very excited if it is the will of Detroiters for me to move into that phase, but I definitely have given it a lot of thought and eager to move into what a transition would look like.
do you have a sense of like how much funding that would take? I think there was some philanthropic money that went into that as well
Hmm.
to kind of boost what the city can put aside in its
Right,
budget. So
right.
what might that cost, do you know?
I'm not sure. I know that it will cost, and we've had some conversation, just initial conversations around how much contractors will cost, and I'm pretty confident that we will be able to acquire what's needed.